What's up everyone, it's Gabbie Trades here and welcome back to the Coin Bureau Trading channel. Wall Street is on fire. Crypto seems like a little bit on a pause. Why is this decoupling happening right now? But of course, before we get rolling, you guys don't forget to smash that like button. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the small bell notification so you never miss a live breakdown here with me. Good morning everyone. We have Lucian and Philip today. So we're gonna go ahead and straight jump into it. Not waste any time. This is our first stream for the week, so very important as usual. All right, okay, I can't seem to see everything, but yeah, hopefully that will get fixed. Hello Shane, hello everyone. All right, so again, new all-time highs. S&P 500, Nvidia, record highs. It's been happening. It will continue to happen thanks to a lot of things, but mainly Nvidia's latest deal with OpenAI. That was a huge kick. But under the surface, the question is that the market might not be as strong as it looks. Over here, Morgan Stanley's kind of worried that there might be a correction if the Fed makes the right call for the economy. Now, the thing about all this is that less than 10% of the stocks are at yearly highs, and most of the gains are coming entirely and solely from the big tech, right? So when you look at that, if you look at the advancing versus declining issues, maybe we can have a look at that actually. Let's go ahead. Hold on. No, that's the wrong one. Maybe not that. Finish, let's go. Yeah, so today looks kind of all right, but like if you checked for last week, for example, when we had the all-time highs, we would always get advancing versus declining. So the declining issues would be much more than the advancing issues. So that is going to tell you that only a few mega caps are actually the ones that are pushing the rally, right? So what does that mean also? Well, that also means that if there is whatever hits, if Nvidia or S&P 500 takes whatever hit, the whole rally could crack very, very easily. Meanwhile, of course, we know that the economy is looking quite shaky. We know that we have unemployment. The job market is basically not good. There is slowdown in the growth. Home sales are weak as well. We also found that as well. So that means that overall the inflation is still hanging around. And if the Fed, for example, does anything, because look, he's actually speaking today, which is, by the way, new. I don't know how this came in the calendar because I was looking at it over the weekend and it was not there. It was all these other Feds that were speaking and were scheduled to speak, but not Fed Chairman Powell, which is of course the most important. And he's speaking today, actually in 2.5 hours from now. So let's see what he's going to say. Last week, the rates were good. He cut the rates with a little bit, but officials kept warning us about this inflation. Let's see what he's going to say today. Don't forget, on Friday, we also have the PCE. This is the preferred measure of inflation for the Fed. So that's very important. So overall, the market is looking shiny on the outside, but without the stronger foundation, we could be walking on a thin ice, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Not to mention the commodities, gold hitting record highs, silver at a 14-year high. This is pretty much absolutely, amazing for the commodities. Anyone that's trading gold, we gave a gold setup last week that played absolutely amazing. If you catch that long, congratulations. We can go ahead and look at all the setups that I gave you, actually, that all played out from last week. So hopefully you guys were paying close attention. But yes, of course, gold is, you can look at it as a safety, sort of safe haven across all of the geopolitical risks that we continue to face. Unfortunately. So yeah, people are leaning towards the commodities, towards the gold, while the stock market world could remain choppy if it wants to. But the rates are also supporting gold moving forward. But we want to know, because if there is any slightly difference in the Fed's plans to cut 2 more times this year, I'm not sure how the market's going to take that. And the S&P 500 is extremely extended, you guys. You need to remember that on average per year, we make around 10, 12%, not even that much. And we've rallied extremely crazy. Like if we look at the S&P, the way we rallied, you guys, it's just absolutely out of this world from April, right? From April. Let's look on the weekly over here. We had a pullback in April, and that's it. We've absolutely been sending, like, check this out, 40%, right? It's a bit crazy. And if you go ahead and look at the rest of the stocks, they've been performing absolutely insane. So yeah, Nvidia doing great, Apple doing absolutely great. We have this liquidity on Apple. We were saying that we need to see a 260. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you the truth. TradFi is a bit more entertaining right now, unfortunately. Hello Brett, hello Philip Dickens, hello Ross. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you guys. Please make sure to come in the chat box and say hi. We have 82 people. I'm seeing very few people chatting in the chat box, and to be fair, I'm here live with you because I want to interact with you. So let's make that happen. All right, and then we're gonna move ahead to the charts on crypto to assess what we did last week, right? All of the setups that I gave you last week, every single setup played out. Every single setup. We're gonna review it right now together. All right, so what did we say last week? Let's recap real quick. The thing that I was trying to sort of put in your heads was that over here, the start of the month for me is always a little bit weird. It's different, right? You can only understand why the weeks are starting for the true months, for the way they're starting. Wait, you're gonna get confused now. So for me, the month starts on a different date, right? I start counting September in this particular case from the 8th of September. So when we rallied, I told you with this rally, we are meant to see a reversal. So this is what we were hoping for. What did we also say? I said to you guys that the shorting for me, everything above 112K for me is an extension for Bitcoin. This price was overextended for Bitcoin in September. So basically, I started shorting. So I'm short Bitcoin. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. These are some positions over here. This is Tabbit, by the way, you guys. Let's go ahead and check if you actually know where I'm trading. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's get rid of the ads over here. So if you come in the description box, I don't know why these ads are just repeating themselves. So annoying. If you come in the description box, you're gonna find out the exchange that I'm using. This is Tabbit more specifically. You can find the link in the description box for that. You can get so many upgrades while you know, you trade. You get more bonuses, sign up bonuses, whatever. But anyway, this is the BTC short that I took over here. APT long as well. I did it for you guys. I mostly hold APT. I don't trade it that much, but because you have lots of fans here in APT, I was like, okay, let's trade that. There is any chance of alt season ? All right, we're gonna look at that as well. But before that, we need to make sure that you guys understand what we did last week, right? So I told you I'm short Bitcoin, 117K, and anything above that, I will continue to add to my short. The reason for that is because this move was overextended and we needed to drop. So here is the drop, finally manifested itself. What else did we say? What else did we say? We said that once the drop occurs, the first buy level is going to be at exactly 112 Bitcoin, 112K Bitcoin. Did you catch the long? Because I did, right? In fact, I'm so nicely positioned for Bitcoin. I'm long from 108 and I'm short from 107, and I've been taking profits along the way, and now I'm very nicely in profit for the short as well. So I hope you guys are paying good attention over here, because this is some serious good trading alpha, and you can see, especially the people that are with me every single day, you can see very well how my strategies are working. This is my plan. I want you to understand how my strategies are successful, so you start listening and paying close attention. Anyway, so we're gonna move at all the other assets, but the point is that every single setup that I get, so ETH, BTC, Ethereum, everything hit our targets where we said last week it is a buy from this area. Now, the thing about what we said also last week, we take it day by day, week by week, very important. All right, so what happened? Pretty much yesterday, this was the buy. You guys know very well that I wait for Monday to develop because I want to understand what is the bias for the entire week. Now, the way I was hoping is for Bitcoin to close below 111K. Of course, 112 reacted because this is manipulation right now that we're seeing. So I want you to be clear. This buy on Bitcoin, to me, is manipulative buy, is a manipulation buys. In terms of the alts, I am not entirely sure. They're on very good levels for a buy, and I'll tell you why. But for Bitcoin, this is a little bit of a stretch for me. So I am considering this move as a fake move. I do want to see price trade below the true month open. I do want to see that. For now, it's not happening. For now, the price is bouncing, so you have the right to take this opportunity. Everyone has. I did, right? But it looks fake to me. Now, another reason for me looking further down for Bitcoin is the 4-hour liquidity at 110K. So basically the secret is the following, right? We don't want to see Bitcoin dropping below 110K. Whatever happens, even if this pump is fake now, and with the, you know, with the continuation of the market, we actually start pulling back today. New York market, I mean, New York session. In case we start dropping down, you guys need to understand that it's very important. It's imperative that we hold 110K, because if we don't, that might mean that price might roll over a little bit more than we want, right? A little bit more than we want. So I'm going to talk to you. Actually, is it worth it? Okay, fine. Let's talk about it. You're looking at 104.5, 105.5 to hold. If they don't hold, then you're looking at 100.3. You have two supports in 99, 98. I definitely don't want to see that happening. I do not want to see that happening. And I don't think we have time for that, frankly. I don't think we have time, because the way I'm looking at the charts is like that. This is September price action for me. According to my strategy, this is September price action. It starts on 8th of September and it finishes on the 13th of October. This is where month of September finishes for me. So we do have a lot of space to play about over here, but the idea is that I want to see price trading below right now, either this week, latest next week. So then I can start seeing some reversal occurring within this period, probably in the first weeks of October. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. And if that doesn't happen, I'll be a little concerned, to be fair. ADA not recovering as well. Yeah, you guys, make sure you... 96 people watching this, I'm not gonna say. S-Send, you clearly are very confused, my friend. All right? You're talking to, you know, someone who probably knows a little bit more than the average Joe on YouTube. So, yeah. Fun stuff. Anyway, you guys, so this is for Bitcoin, right? Let's be clear. We had the buy. This was the buy from the daily support. If you're in, you're in. If you're very tight stop losses, because I still want to see price dropping below 110. And if that doesn't happen, and if we drop further down, that's where we get into trouble zone. I don't want to see that. Let's look at ETH. All right. Yes, you guys, make sure to hit the like button. You see how these like rude people, they actually annoy me so much. Like, why don't I see you in real life? You're probably ugly. Anyway, I just had to. Sorry. Yeah, trolls. trolls. Anyway, so yeah, for ETH, we spoke last week. What did we say last week for ETH, you guys? $4,000, right? I want you to pay close attention to where is price reacting from. $4,000. Now, the fact that price reacted exactly from $4,000 and then it closed above a zone of interest for us, which was 4,100, is very good, right? Because 4,000 was the first area that needed to retest, and then the proof of the pudding was for price to close above 4,100. Does that make sense? Now, the slight problem with this is that we're still not entirely out of the woods. Price looks a little bit weak still. And if we look at ETH BTC, same thing. What did we say? This is our buy zone. This is our area. Last week, I was trying to warn you guys, this is where we needed to pay attention to these areas. If we fail our support over here, and if the market starts dropping, ETH BTC needs to rebound from here. Now, that happened again. So let's hope that this area holds, because if it doesn't, price could roll over a little bit more. Frankly, there is nothing holding price on ETH BTC, even though technicals doesn't work that much, don't work that much. You can see the daily support is very clear at 0.03188. So that could be a little bit of a violent drop if that happens. So we definitely want to sit within this realm, right? Within this buy zone. 0.03476, 0.03630. All right. Yeah, very important that we sit there. For ETH BTC, just quick one. Let's clear this chart a little bit so you don't get absolutely confused. Can you do TA on ski? You guys just put your requests, and then I'm gonna just ignore people like S Sand. He's not S Sand. He's more like S idiot. They're not worth, yeah, all the work that I'm putting in for you guys. Can you imagine? And then someone like that comes in. It's just so dumb, so dumb. Why so sad? Ugh. Anyway, ETH. What was very important to note for ETH is that the weekly time frame, right? The weekly time frame. Whatever happens to ETH, even if we drop down furthermore, all I want to say to you guys is that the line in the sand, I'm not saying that is going to happen. I'm telling you, where is the line in the sand? The line in the sand is 3,500. Any drops below 3,500 for Solana, bear market, in my opinion, right? So we definitely don't want to see that. Definitely don't want to see that. The pullback for Ethereum. Did I say Solana? I think I heard myself say Solana. Yeah, you guys, this needs to hold, right? 3,500 for ETH needs to hold. If it doesn't hold, that is going to mean that price might drop to extreme levels. Like, we don't even want to think about that, right? So for now, we need to be going with the bullish bias, and we need to be taking opportunities when they come. So the first opportunity was at 4,000. Are you in? If you're not my fault. Right? And if price continues to roll over, tight stop losses. I have tight stop losses on my alts right now with this move up, because I still don't believe it 100%. Right? I still need to be convinced that Bitcoin is gonna, that ETH is gonna outperform Bitcoin, even if Bitcoin starts dropping. I need to be sure of that. So far, no evidence. Weekly time frame. Basically, I'm gonna make it easy for you guys. Now let's move everything away over here. Maybe keep that, whatever. This is the zone. This is the big candle that you're interested in. I know it's big. That's why we have mini zones and areas that are extra confluences for us. We stack confluences in this case, because this buy zone is very big, right? The buy zone starts at 3,900 and ends at 3,365. But to be more precise, you don't want to drop below 3,500, because weekly drop and close below 3,500 is going to signal massive weakness. So yeah, that is not going to happen. I don't see that happening. We are in a buy breaker block zone. We have more support down here, so I'm fine. So that's why for alts, I'm not sure right now. That's why I'm long, because I want to make sure that I'm already positioned. And if I get out at break even, I'm fine. I'm totally fine with that. Solana, let's look at Sol. What did we say last week? What did we say? 214. I want you to pay attention at the levels, how correct the levels are, and the levels match. This is what I'm trying to teach you while I'm live, while I'm giving you all the levels and everything, that you need to be matching levels across the board, not for only one asset, not only for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for Solana, for the alts. You need to see everything as a package to add extra confidence. Bullish on ETH, bullish on Sol. Yeah, me too. I'm very bullish on ETH. You never know. Next year, ETH might go up to 8K. By next year, right? A lot of people are calling for this season to end, for this bull season to end in October, November or something. I think that's far away from the truth. I think we're gonna see it run for a little bit longer. I think we're gonna see high prices in February as well next year. So get ready, you know. Now the star of the show is BNB. Right? This is the crypto market that I want to see, that I'm not seeing. But BNB has been absolutely doing miracles. It's been doing God's work for us. You know? Look at that. Look at that thing. This is what crypto needs to look like, and it doesn't. It doesn't look like that. Incredible. Absolutely incredible price action. Look at that perfect tap into the little buy zone that we marked together last week. Beautiful. Now, you guys, again, like I said, here are some of the positions. I already took some profit on the BTC short over here. This is Tapbit. Again, if you're looking for an exchange to trade, Tapbit is giving you up to 32.2K in welcoming bonuses, you guys. This is pretty awesome. Okay. And also make sure to follow my main YouTube channel if you haven't yet. If you don't know, I do have my own main YouTube channel, so make sure to follow that. Support the channel. Extremely important. Animal spirits for BNB. Solana overall is looking fine. Even though we had the drop, even though we retested 214, it is looking fine, right? Let's look on the weekly time frame. On a weekly time frame, the line in the sand for Solana is $200. The line in the sand for Solana is $200. Anything below $200, massive scaries. Massive scaries. AVAX. AVAX, you guys, I gave you a setup last week. I don't remember if I did it on the Coin Bureau channel or on my own channel on YouTube. This was the setup. I think I'm not sure if I gave it on my channel. I want you to see how precise this buy was. Just watch, okay? And tell me who else is able to provide you with the same sniper moves. Unfortunately, no one. Anyway, basically, it's actually very simple, right? I'm not doing any magics or whatever. What I use the strategies that I've been using for years. And guys, they are available for every single one of you. I don't know how many times to repeat it, but this setup was simply based on a weekly support for AVAX at 26.833. For me, the weekly formations using my indicators are extremely important and valid support SR support resistance, SR flip zones. Very, very important. The link for the indicators is also in the description box, you guys. Just go and grab them. They're very, very helpful. Whatever strategy you're using, I've made a video on the indicators. Just go get them. Honestly, they're like super cheap. Like, I'm not getting rich of that, honestly. But the way I have setups like that I have high confidence in is because of that. So yeah, AVAX is looking good overall, I must say. Double liquidity formation again with the help of my indicators. AVAX $65-66 easy. Very easy. Very easy. Very easy for AVAX to achieve that. All-time high will be on what, Luli Lips? On what exactly? SUI, yeah, we can look at SUI, mate, no worries. We can look at SUI. Hold on, let's just go lower time frame. Same thing. Everything at zones. What did I say? Weekly zone. Here is it. Here it is. This is the formation again. You see this triangular formation. You can find it with my indicators. The dollars down means liquidity. The line that I've drawn is just for my visuals, but you can see it even without that. Okay. And then you can see the retest of the zone, and price is good to go for now, right? If we fail that on SUI, if we fail that area, you are potentially looking to drop further down, potentially retest $3. Honestly, like if we don't bounce right now, there is nothing that supports price to retest $3. There is nothing. Like if we fail this level right now at 3.2, because this was the buy level, if we fail at $3, basically zoom out and check the market structure. At the moment is a higher low in simple terms, as and it's all good. Yeah, but this is crypto, right? This is crypto. You need to remember that higher highs and higher lows, you know, can be a bit untrustworthy. Hold on, I'm just trying to read something. Thoughts on Aster? Yeah, it looked good. We're gonna have a look at it. Ondo, please. Okay. Bitcoin, I mean. Okay, Tibissimo. You mean all-time high for Bitcoin? Like, what's my target for this bull run? Is that what you mean? So my target for Bitcoin is I have very few targets, actually. I'm gonna tell you. So if I'm looking at the first leg, this is all based on standard deviation 123. We've already reached that. Second leg 125. We haven't entirely reached that. So all of these targets between 123 and 127, these are the conservative targets. And then we go to the less conservative targets. They're finding themselves around 146 and 155, right? And then I should have even more extended targets, but I can tell you just by naked eye that my most extended targets for Bitcoin are at around 180K. But I'm not holding my breath for that. I think 150 is already going to be quite an extension. So yeah. A lot of people, you know, it is a well-known tactic on Wall Street. If someone is like in the media and they want to get attention, that's way before crypto was a thing, right? Way before crypto was a thing. On Wall Street, it used to be very, very popular for people to come up with crazy targets for any assets in the TradFi. Right? And that's how they would make a name for themselves. Like they will just throw crazy numbers, and if it happens, it happens, and then they build a name on Wall Street. Does that make sense? So these tricks are not new. So if you're seeing at some people, especially some people in finance or like ex-people on Wall Street, like ex-bankers or whatever, talking about Bitcoin, and they come and tell you, we're gonna see Bitcoin at 250K or like 1 million. It is literally the oldest gig on Wall Street that they're trying to do. They're trying to get media attention and stuff like that. You know, the thing about these people is that, yeah, I don't want to go into more, you know, rant about this. There is no need. But yeah, these are my targets for Bitcoin: 123, 127 conservative, and extended up to 155, and then in the, if some miracle happens, 180, and I don't see more than that. Okay, and be careful who you listen to. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, to Bismo, for example. Yeah, all right, so let's focus here one by one. What did we say we want to see? We looked at SUI, Ondo. Oops, why did I have to delete that? Let's have a look. That's fine, my list is already crying anyway. Ondo, weekly time frame. Yeah, I mean, very nice price leg, very nice location for price. 0.236 is essentially the buy zone over here. This is from the price leg that we're currently seeing. 0.236. By 0.236, I mean anything, you know, within this realm, which is, you know, a little bit big. But yeah, so the reason I'm not interested in Ondo yet is this daily liquidity down here. This daily liquidity is a problem for me. So if I see a chart that has levels of liquidity that are that strong, according to what I use, my trading indicators, I tend to stay away from it, because there is a lot of other charts that don't show that. So I don't really care about the charts that are showing that. Do you know what I mean? That's the reality. However, the fact that we've been able to hold 0.236 of this bullish price leg, it is telling you that, you know, 1.8 is a very possible target. That's what this chart is telling you, right? That you could extend to 0.786 of the price leg, which is 1.8. And from 1.8, you could potentially sell off, right? You could sell off. So that's what it looks like to me. ADA, please. Yeah, sure, no problem. Hold on, because I have a list here of like literally 100,000 cryptos. It's so annoying. So yeah, ADA for me is also not done. So this was recently created, this triangular formation, which is showing liquidity, right? Let's clean the chart a little bit here. Clean the chart for you guys. So yeah, liquidity is not entirely taken, right? If you zoom in, let's zoom in. You can see we haven't had price stab into that level, which is a problem for me. So, which is potentially just adding to the confluences that we said earlier, that we might see a further drop down on Bitcoin, right? So that is how I'm looking at the market. And then we have the buy zone down here, which is quite nice. Quite a big buy zone, starting at 0.7594, ending at around 0.7126. Now, when I say that a buy zone is ending, what do I mean by that? Well, that would mean, according to the daily time frame, this is the buy zone sort of parameters, if you will. And then on a daily, if we start dropping into that buy zone, very deep into the buy zone, and then we see a body close on a daily below the lowest point of the buy zone, which in that case is 0.7124, that is going to mean that the market is a little bit more bearish than I would like it to be. So holding means that this zone can be wicked. Price can wick if it wants to, but it needs to quickly come back and have a body close above it, right? So we can see that the buyers are, you know, protecting that level. It's very important. Very important. So yeah, for ADA, honestly, I do see a little bit of a further drop. And don't forget, we have that sell zone. We've marked it together. We've been months on the Coin Bureau trading channel now together. So we've had that buy zone together. Sorry, sell zone, right? This was the sell for ADA, right? This was the sell. So yeah. What do you think is going to be the top for it? For ADA? So we do have some liquidity on ADA here at 1.1. Was it 1. Looking at this high, actually, yeah, this high over here, 1.176. I think that once we take these relatively equal highs, there will be some sort of retrace from price. So I would be watching a little bit closely over here what happens. But overall it's looking good. Overall, this can perform quite well, actually. It's very possible, right? Like 1.6 at the very least. Look, 1.6 at the very least for ADA, and then 2.4. If we perform really well, 2.4 is my max extension on this, right? My max extension. So same thing when I talk to you about Bitcoin and I say, okay, I have this target, and that target is a max extension. This is going to be my max extension for ADA. Would it be a good idea to drop ETH and go into Sol? I don't know. Why would you think that? Why would you think that? Yeah. So yeah, you guys, honestly, XRP, let's have a look at XRP as well. A little bit of a deeper stab into the 2.8, but it's important that we close with wick above that area. Very important that the body is above our support. Extremely important. ZBCN. Okay, I knew I was missing something. ZBCN, hold on. Oh, this is actually not too bad. This is actually not too bad. Not too bad at all. We had to clear this lick over here at 0.046. Not too bad, to be fair. For this, I'd be looking for, in case it drops, I don't know if it will. Since we've cleared some liquidity on a daily, it is possible to drop a little bit. So for this, I would be utilizing probably the 12-hour. So I'd be looking at this zone down here after the break, which is 0.040948. But to be fair, the most interesting zone, and again, this is this down here. So the reason for that is I actually posted a video for you guys on the Coin Bureau video section. So that's the recorded videos, not a live video. I posted a strategy for you, right? And if you haven't watched that strategy, and if you're saying to me that it's hard to understand, you have to watch it again and again and again until you understand it a little bit better. But if we're utilizing this strategy, this will be the entry over here. Oh, swap ETH to SOL due to the rotation. ETFs coming up and treasury companies adding more into Solana. Enough reasons, fast and cheaper, but I'm interested in Gabbie's analysis. Yeah, Peter Von Dorn. Yeah, I mean, capital rotation would make a lot of sense if that's the case. But for me, both assets are extremely bullish. And I'm interested in holding both, to be fair, right? I'm interested in holding both. In terms of some targets for Solana, I think I did them. When did I do them? I must have, I'm pretty sure I have that on my Discord. I didn't add it, but I have assessed Solana, and there are some targets in the 500, in the 600 region for Sol. You guys are most welcome. And again, don't forget to check the description box, follow my main YouTube channel, make sure you do that. Check Tabbit, check all the exchanges that are offering you a lot of bonuses. You guys, if you're looking for places to trade, always make sure to do that. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. But before we actually, you know what, before we leave, hold on, let me tell you what the current plan is, okay, for today and tomorrow. So basically today, I did on my main channel, I did say that today is going to be a sell from the true week open, which is down here. I know it didn't look like that earlier, but that's pretty much the case for today. Yesterday, you know, was the buy from Sunday from our supports. Now it should be a sell, right? It should be a sell. And I would be watching very carefully because it is possible that this rolls over below. And if it does, that is going to be bullish, right? If we start dropping below 111K, that is going to be our signal to start looking for buys. This is the one thing I wanted to say. We should do a group hug. Yes, let's do a group hug. Phew. All right. And ski as well. Oh my god, yeah, I forgot about that. Ski. Blah, 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 blah. Do we have perps on that? If we don't have perps, I don't want to look at it if we don't have perps. XOXO, make sure you like the video, you guys. Yeah, 100%. Leave us a like, leave us a bit of comment to support us, to support me with the TA that I'm trying to give you guys over here. And I'll see you on Thursday. Very cute, you guys. Very cute. Thank you. See you guys in the next one.